This week on It's Too Wordy, holy name change, Batman! Welcome everybody to this week's issue of the It's Too Wordy comic book podcast. I'm joined by
Nick.
Ryan.
You can sound a little more excited to be here, Nick. Nick. Nick.
I'm just here.
I'm just here. Alright, guys. If you couldn't tell, we had to change the name of the podcast because somebody didn't tag their name or whatever. Nick told me it was because of Google.
Thanks, Google.
You fucking assholes.
You guys watched me Google the name, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, and nothing came up.
Nothing came up at all.
So then I was like, oh, maybe I'll just look for it again.
So
Yeah, there it is.
we had a meeting on the old group chat. I liked the quarter bin. I really liked that one, but then that one was taken too. I was like, God damn it. And then I was like, it's too wordy because that's what we were originally, one of the original names that we came up with. And so Nick's like, it's too wordy. And I'm like, cool. Ryan's like, I like it.
Yeah.
You didn't like it.
It was good. I was happy with it.
Hi, Ryan.
Hello.
Yeah.
So this week, we are going to be discussing DC's Year of the Villain and DCeased, and then everybody's favorite duo, the lovable scamps from Star Wars, Tag and Bink.
So we're really excited to review this issue.
This villains?
Yeah, I loved it so much.
Did you okay? Let's talk about it.
It was such a hit. It went for free on Free Comic Book Day. It was
I'm
only a quarter
pissed.
book.
I'm pissed. I paid 25 cents and could have got this piece of shit for free. Even when you pick it up, it feels like it's 25 cents or free.
They didn't do a great job marketing with the villains on the front. You got Bane, maybe Lex Luthor if you recognize the suit, but the rest of them.
Who is the Batman who laughs? Is it the Joker dressed up in
Bruce
a bat?
Wayne and Joker combined.
Oh, lovely! Another fucking mind melding bullshit thing.
Came from another universe.
So it was like an
Elseworlds type thing. Yeah. He was the big bad in DC's Metal, Dark Knight Metal.
Metal. Okay.
Yeah. Who's the chick with the giant head?
I fucking don't know.
Yeah.
We'll call her Giant Head Purple Girl.
I have no idea.
Do they even say the name?
I even read the book, and I have no idea who that is.
Oh, and don't forget
Chitara?
from the Thundercats. Yes.
That's the one I said had boobies.
Yes.
She has wonderful muscles.
She should have like 8. She's a
should.
cat.
She
She
is
should
a
have like
cat.
8. I didn't get that far. Seriously, I lost interest at the Justice League.
Perpetua? Nobody's ever said their name before because this is the first
Sure.
time she's been introduced. But yeah.
I gonna be completely honest. I felt this was a waste of my time.
The idea of it was good. Kind of introducing the Year of the Villain because that's their big event.
Yeah.
I can't even say it's the big event for the year because it's only hitting certain titles. But they're trying to drive the point of villains are going to be the good guys, I guess, throughout the year in some manner.
Are they?
Yeah, it's like, superheroes can't win this year. Is kind of how they're trying to drive it to.
Yeah. I did like the thought of Lex Luthor giving all his money to the supervillains.
Yeah, that was cool.
Wild.
That was cool. That's the only thing I really remember. It's the first one.
Does Sinestro and Brainiac really need him? Couldn't they go to the rest of the galaxy or the rest of the universe and fuck things up?
I
And
forgot
just leave Earth alone?
I forgot Sinestro and what's his name is in there too.
It's the whole Legion of Doom thing.
Yeah.
They're all a part of it, so that's why Lex brought them all together. And
where's Toyman?
Batman Who Laughs kind of took over that spot.
Did he?
Yeah.
And Scarecrow? Batman Who Laughs.
Yeah, I guess.
We got a lot to say about this one, huh?
It's, 4 stories combined into one. It's trying to get you interested in wanting to read this series. I don't think it did its job.
It did not. Because I felt that if it was going to be like shit like this the whole time, then no.
There's one thing I liked. I'm a huge Captain Atom fan, and seeing him actually being used
Right.
to bring Luther in was really nice. Like, usually you'd see Superman.
Yeah.
But actually them using Captain Atom was really nice.
Yeah.
There is one panel of like a whole bunch of like villains, or not villains, but superheroes all together.
Mm-hmm.
I can name all of them, but there's one that I have no idea who it is. Is that Karate Kid? Who is this?
That
With
is
the white
one of
mask?
that's one of the new ones. I don't know who it is. They did a release of like future heroes, and all those books have pretty much died.
Oh, okay.
So
That means like Simon Baz is right there too.
Yeah, that's the first appearance of him in ages.
And Black Canary looks like she has to sneeze.
Yep. Or she's taking it in the pooper.
I was just very excited to see Detective Chimp.
Kendra's back.
Yep. Well, she's been in the Justice League.
So Shiara's not around.
Nope.
So it's still Kendra.
Yes.
Not a fan of Kendra.
She's okay. Shiara was always just like way too into Hawkman.
And now you have somebody who's like, keep your hands off me, Hawkman.
Now he's like, I want to touch you. She's like, get the fuck off me.
Get away from me, Hawkman. Yeah.
But I love you. You loved her, not me.
You're just some creepy 4,000-year-old man.
But I know the Titans run just ended, and they're pictured in this spread.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to play a big part. I did find it very interesting at the back of the book. There's a section called No Laughing Matter, and it says 6 of these below heroes will betray the DC universe. And you had most of the Titans, Constantine, a couple of people I have no idea, Booster Gold, because they always want Booster to be the one that betrays things for whatever reason.
He just looks like a schmarmy dick.
Jimmy Olsen, because everybody knows he's got a lot of power.
He's Turtle Boy.
It should be Jimmy Olsen.
They got Hal listed. Green Lantern plays no part in this at all. Kyle, I can see, because they've been pushing on trying to make him a bad guy for whatever reason. Alfred, really?
Catwoman, really? Is that Max Lord on the bottom? Or is that Perry White?
I think it's Perry White.
Okay. So I'm going to bet Perry White, Catwoman.
I'm going to say Green Arrow.
If they do the right stance on it and give him a reason to make it his effort.
Yeah.
Commissioner Gordon.
I could see Constantine.
Is that Connor Kent over here?
Yep.
Why does he have armor? So stupid.
That's what the new Superboy looks like in Young Justice.
All right, so I'm really excited for this. I don't know about you guys, but this looks amazing.
What do we give it?
Not worth 25 cents.
So
how's that?
So can we give it a 0? Or do we have to give it a 1 through a 5?
I'm going to give it a 1 just for the Batman story. And that's it.
Okay. Yeah, the Batman one kind of got me interested. Kind of piqued my interest a little bit. That's probably the best story in here. So yeah, I'll give it a 1 for the Batman story.
I did like the art on the Batgirl section, but the story itself was kind of crap.
I thought Barbara Gordon was paralyzed.
Oh, no. They retconned that. She was paralyzed, and then when they did the New 52, she was all good.
So they make the Killing Joke is just like the Dark Phoenix saga then?
No, she got better.
Okay.
That's basically how they said it, because they didn't want to take that completely out. They basically just, she got better.
Okay. Wow. I kind of liked her Oracle character.
Her Oracle character was a fantastic character. I didn't care for the New 52 Batgirl at all. Actually, no, I take that back. It's the newest version of it I didn't care for. Gail Simone wrote the New 52 Batgirl, and that was excellent. But it's this most recent, whatever it's called now, Rebirth. That's what it was.
Rebirth.
Yeah, with Rebirth, the Batgirl storyline was not.
Good.
They made her extremely young again.
Oh.
And it didn't feel.
Made you feel creepy?
I wouldn't say it made me feel creepy. It just made me feel like, okay, she's supposed to have all this experience. She's supposed to be a little bit older, upper 20s, early 30s. I kind of picture her.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden she looks like she's
15, 12,
15, 16, 17 area.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 1.
Yeah, that sounds about right. 1's fine.
They tried.
I mean, they got some great art or writers on this. They got Scott Snyder on one story, Bendis on another, James Tynion the fourth. I love everything he does. His independent stuff is just absolutely amazing. And I liked some of his Batman stuff. The story he wrote with this one wasn't crazy about, but that's all right.
All right, we're going to move on to DCeased.
After you're the villain, that's why they named it this.
Because DC's done.
This is the death of DC. Looks like we all got different colors, except mine kind of, if you open it up, it's the same one as Ryan.
Sketch variant cover, yep.
Yep.
And Nick got the
that one looks
It
pretty,
cover.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, the It, yeah. And Ryan, you got which one, the Batman?
Yeah, I got the Batman one. It's a knockoff of the New 52, I think issue 2 or something. Where he's battling Cordials.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, it looked familiar.
Yeah. Now that you said that, yeah, it does.
This was interesting. I enjoyed the story, even though it's another rip-off of The Walking Dead or Scooby Apocalypse.
It's
or
a zombie book, but
it's kind of a mix of the both,
Blackest Night.
Blackest Night.
Spoilers.
It's not going to ruin anything for you.
Just kidding.
The art was very tough for me.
I like the first couple pages, like maybe with Darkseid, but then
Has Darkseid always looked like Apocalypse?
Apocalypse has always looked like Darkseid.
He looks like Apocalypse.
No, once they start getting into where they're drawing the superheroes and stuff.
I did not like it. When it turned to Cyborg on Apocalypse,
yeah,
I was like, this is
not great.
This is your big send-off, like your big event of the summer. And you give us, I can't even describe it.
You should have had your top, one of your top guys on here.
Yeah, if you're doing a big event, you put a top guy on it. If you want somebody new to kind of establish themselves, I'm all for that. I want to see new people in the industry. Give them a couple of guest spots on a story or something.
A C-level book.
Not even that. Even if you do like a Green Arrow or something where you have a 2-part series,
yeah.
Have them do that. Get them known. So you're adjusted to the art, because you're taking your big book and you're putting it out there and you're like, ugh,
Because, these are, it's hard to look at.
And I don't care. It's always funny to see Green Arrow try to take out Darkseid.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do? Absolutely nothing.
Talk politics, bore him to death.
Right.
I'm still trying to figure out the part there where Batman's son and Superboy are hanging out.
Yeah.
And they're playing a video game, but they didn't get infected as quickly as everybody else.
With the social media virus?
Yes.
Well, that's because somebody made a phone call. Don't answer the phone!
Right. But they were playing a video game.
That's most likely connected to the internet.
Yeah. I'm sure it's Minecraft or whatever.
Whatever those kids are playing.
Whatever kids are playing now.
Roblox. Fortnite.
Another thought. Superboy uses his powers to find the phone when he uses his X-ray vision. Wouldn't he have seen what's ever on the phone? Or am I thinking too much on this?
I don't know if he can read screens from the back, though.
Oh, that's right. Superman crashes through the window and says, "Don't answer it!"
Big Barda has a little head.
Yeah.
Like, I know she's giant, but you can make her have a giant head. At least proportionate.
Proportionate, yes. I think my favorite part on this was Batman says Cyborg is missing. He's not in Metropolis. He's not on Earth. How do you know this? Said the Flash. I have a location monitor running in one of his sub-routings.
Of course he does. He's Batman.
And then somebody said, Flash goes, do you have a tracker on all of us on Superman? He pauses and then goes, no.
I don't believe that pause.
I don't like that pause.
Green Arrow points it out. Anyone else concerned about that slight pause there?
But if anybody read OMAC, then it's the same thing.
Yeah.
There was the part that I was going to say in there too. I think that was the part where he's tracking everybody again.
Yeah. Has a way to beat everybody.
Because he's Batman.
And that's when Batman went downhill for me. When he became not the detective, but the guy who takes 15 minutes to prepare for anything.
Give me 15 minutes and I can beat it.
The new run's a lot better. It got away from that.
Did it?
Yeah.
Good.
I will get the next one because I liked how it ended. I'm curious to see what happens.
Yeah. Does Batman get infected?
But even then, I mean, it's got that whole Batman Red Rain vibe thing. So they took like 6 stories that they've done in the past and then just said, you know what, we're going to throw them together and see what happens. Is how I feel about this.
Right.
Yeah.
And how the outcome is, it's like, how are they ever going to come away from this?
Yeah.
Billions of people in the world are going to die.
Are infected.
Or going to turn.
Are turning.
They'll just call Daphne and her Dinkley and have her come in, type in a code, and have the Night King fix it all. And I mean, it's DC. That could happen.
Maybe they'll bring Cable over for the Marvel universe. De-infect
because he knows how to cure the techno.
Or Warlock. We could bring Warlock in.
Warlock.
That'd be one heck of a crossover,
right?
Because it was
nobody uses Warlock; they'll just steal him. So I think my main gripe with DC is you've done the New 52, you did Rebirth, and now you're on to something else, right?
Yep.
Where's Ted Kord? For God's sakes, you kill him off 20 years ago, and you don't bring him back. He's the only character you've never brought him back.
That's not absolutely correct. He
is in Blue Beetle.
He is in Blue Beetle. He is the microchip for the Punisher type personality, and helps with the suit and everything. And they make reference to him being Blue Beetle, but as far as him being Blue Beetle, no.
Okay, then never mind. But still, bring him back as a Blue Beetle.
No,
or as somebody else. He could be the Black Beetle. Just put him in the Justice League.
He needs to be back. Yeah,
I agree.
It's stupid.
I agree.
I know what they were shooting for with that Blue Beetle. They were trying to get a different group reading that with the Hispanic population, but
just like they did with Nova, making Sam Alexander the Nova,
making Kamala Khan the new Ms. Marvel.
Yeah, trying to get
Well, I get that, but there's a classic character that's been out since 1960s when he was with Charlton Comics. He's got a legacy.
Yeah,
and DC is shitting on it.
What they really need to do, and I hope that somebody's listening and doing this, a team-up book, Booster and Blue Beetle. That's a fantastic way to bring him back. Everybody loves that team-up. It would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
They have maybe do what DC does on some of these books where there's a little mini story in the back that focuses just specifically on Ted on one issue and then Booster on another issue, but the team-up, the interactions you're seeing. You could even make it a retro type deal where it's the misadventures of these guys back in the 80s or whatever when they first started pairing up.
Like they did with the Not Quite the Justice League.
Yeah. You don't have to make it current. Make it a retro book. We'd take it back. That would be a lot of fun. So our ratings.
What do we want to do for the ranking on this one?
I'm going to give it a 3. It's interesting, but I've read it before. The art, 2.5. I've read it before. The artwork was not quite to par, and I mean it's a nice change for the zombie genre, but it's not enough. I might get the next one, but
I would say a 2.5 as well. That's what I was thinking.
Okay, I was gonna go 3, and I'm just gonna give it another shot.
Well, I'm gonna give it another shot too. I think your view of it's gonna be a little bit different than Nick and I's because we've read all this stuff before. Where you're just now kind of getting exposed to it.
To the DC stuff. So, yeah. Now on to the fun stuff. We're going to do Tag and Bink miniseries. It's called Tag and Bink Are Dead. I'm going to read the crawl because I think the crawl is hilarious. Episode 4.1, Tag and Bink Are Dead. It's a period of great strife and turmoil at Darkhorse Comics. With episode 2 still months away, editors struggle to meet the demand for new Star Wars comics, brought on by a ravenous and unforgiving fan base. Darkhorse editor Dave Land, in a move that he now regrets, commissions the ever-late, always procrastinating Kevin Rubio to concoct a 2-part comedic story about 2 young rebel officers set during the time of Episode 4. Even now, as you read this, Kevin struggles to meet the deadline for the next book. And artist Lucas Marangon, hopefully I didn't just butcher your name, sorry pal, is slowly going insane because of the impossible visuals Kevin has asked for in the limited time that is left to draw the book. Turn the page and let the hilarious adventures commence.
This is really funny.
Yeah, I didn't know what to make of it when I first got it. And
was a completely creative way.
Well, if you're really into Shakespeare, you're going to know that this is Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead.
Yeah.
Which I had no idea. I had to be explained what it was. Because,
I picked that up immediately because it's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
So when I read it, I'm like, this is perfect. This is hilarious. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, is that the little
That's from
Hitchhiker's Guide to the
Galaxy.
Galaxy. I thought that was hilarious. And then the little bumper sticker, honk if you love evil. And then
which is like the Spaceballs.
Yep.
like Spaceballs. But it's like they're the two bumbling idiots of the Star Wars universe that always seems to work out right for them in the end. I was like, this is so creative, so awesome. I don't know why I didn't read this when it first came out.
It was not that big.
It's got a cult following now.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm going to go buy it. I want to find it and try to get it.
Marvel did a re-release of this probably last year, 2 years ago. All of it's running together at this point. But it has all of them to put together.
Okay, yeah, because, the first part takes place on the Tentative. I think that's
Tentative 4.
Tentative 4, where it's the first scene from A New Hope, where Darth Vader's coming on board the ship, and they're just shooting, and damn C-3PO keeps telling everybody where they are.
Yep.
I like this. Come on, man, who wants to be a hero? Not me. Roger that, buddy. I'm right behind you. Because that would be 99% of us.
Yep.
And they did such a good job with this that, you're looking at it and you can picture every scene from the movie where this is happening.
Yep.
And, it drew me back into that universe a lot easier than some of the other stuff that we have been reading lately.
And then the guy who's the main officer on the Death Star is like, you will respect me, and you will respect this, the mightiest, or whatever it is.
Mahdi?
Yeah, the guy who gets choked out by Vader.
Mahdi.
Yeah. They had to throw in, I got a bad feeling about this. And then I love the big boy on the Death Star.
With the Darkhorse symbol?
With the Darkhorse symbol on it. And then the big boy on I'm like, this is really Spaceball-ish.
It's very much
like an
so.
homage to Spaceballs and Star Wars.
Yeah.
They keep complaining about their stormtrooper helmets they can't see around, and they hit their heads on the doors. And...
Yep.
So we should go through and describe what parts of the movies that Tag and Bink are actual characters in.
Okay.
So Tag and Bink are the two stormtroopers on the gangplank when Obi-Wan Kenobi is turning off the shield generator.
Yep.
That's them.
I don't remember them on the Tentative 4.
Tantive
4.
Tantive 4.
The atst.
They're also the two TIE fighter pilots that bring the Millennium Falcon in.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they were.
And they were also in the second issue, you find out that it's not actually them that were in the trench run with Darth Vader.
Right,
but the first issue, it makes you think that they are.
Makes you think that they're the two bumbling idiots that hit each other in the trench.
Why did we need a toy of Luke in a Bacta tank?
Again, goes back to...
Completionist.
Completionist, yep.
You know what's missing? Luke in a Bacta tank.
I don't have that one. Maybe Luke in a bed recuperating. Maybe Luke on an operating table.
Is this really like
at the end of Empire
a true ad, or
that is a real
toy? Oh, I thought it might have been like a spoof.
No, that is a real deal.
That's the real toy.
That is a real toy.
Yeah, we don't need Luke Skywalker in a diaper in a Bacta tank.
Somebody
they never made the Luke and Leia kiss scene toys.
Yet.
They were siblings. We have to review. We should have reviewed
Magnetic
Fanboys
Lips
for this month.
There was no tongue. It was just.
You kissed your sister.
Which, okay, Lucas always says that he wrote it beforehand. No, he didn't. If he did, then he would have been like, no, that's his sister. We're not putting that in there. But he did.
My favorite.
And he did not rewrite.
My favorite is in the movie Fanboys, when they're having an argument. When Luke kissed Leia, they were sisters, you sick freak. You know when you're kissing your sibling.
She probably got that Back to the Future thing. Like, it's like kissing my brother.
Yeah, that's what I pictured when I was watching Fanboys.
There was a lot of mother, son, brother, sister stuff in the 80s.
In the 80s? Yes, there was. So now we go to episode 4.1, Tag and Bink Live.
Not to be confused with Rogue One.
Yeah. And
no, that was before Rogue One. Sorry, yeah. Star Wars.
They start off with a recap, and the writer is telling you, yeah, you got gypped, but, you know. But here, here's a, what was it?
Just think, now you got 20 extra pages of story.
20 more pages of fun to read. And this one, Bink is that guy, right? Tag's the white guy, Bink's the black guy.
I can never keep track, because Lando calls him by his name.
I keep getting confused.
Tag Greenlee. So Tag's the black guy, and Bink's the white guy, right?
That's how I took it.
Okay.
No. Tag's the black guy.
Tag's the black guy.
No,
he's the white guy.
Tag is... Bink's the black guy. Tag's the white guy.
Okay, now that we've got this perfectly set up.
Good.
Bink is like, we need another ship, but we need with some more substance and some more firepower. And then he sees the shuttle, and he's like, and rich Carillion leather. Which is funny because I saw rich Corinthian leather, not Carillion leather, when I read this the first time. And then they're like, how are we going to get out of here? And they're like, attention, evacuation of Grand Moff Tarkin was canceled. And they're like, well, that was easy. And they just so happen to fly out of the Death Star as it explodes.
Then they land on Yavin 4 after the party's
over. After the party's over, you see balloons and party hats,
rabbit
costumes, and what kind of party was this? Was this a furry party?
So the hat says 42 on it. From Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yep. They answered everything.
Is the bunny costume like Jack from issue 7 of the Marvel stuff?
It could be.
It would be funny if it was like a little hint that, well, he was green.
He was green.
He was like Bucky O'Hare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the part that brought a little tear to my eye.
No, it's a Sergeant Pepper's riff.
Yeah.
I am the walrus, because he's holding up a walrus mask. There's a rabbit costume.
Yeah.
So it's a Sergeant Pepper's riff.
And then you get the part with Chewie's medal.
Chewie had one.
Chewie had a medal, but he forgot it. He wasn't good enough to get his at the ceremony, though.
Well, you saw what happened when Luke tried to put something on his wrist. What if you put something around his neck?
He's trying to choke him out.
He's going to choke Leia right there.
Go to sleep! Go to sleep! Go to sleep! Then they run into bumbling Boba Fett.
Of course, they have to put the #1 bounty hunter in the galaxy in here.
He had a jetpack. Whoopity-doo. So did the Rocketeer.
The Rocketeer actually did something.
Fanboys reference again.
I know, I'm just saying the Rocketeer actually did more than
Boba
Fett has ever done.
I know he did.
And he had it like for 2 hours.
He didn't survive a Sarlacc pit.
He might have.
Then I like how he tries to get into the ship. Boba tries to get into the ship, and I don't know what happens here because he just falls flat on his face. Do they do something to him?
Oh, they hit a tree.
They hit a tree?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do in 2 panels of him hitting a tree and then falling off.
Yeah, okay. And then they fly into Bespin, and they're like, yeah, Lando dated my sister. Which one? Tamara and DeHoff?
That's got to be some reference that we're not getting. I mean,
yeah.
Tamara and DeHoff.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I mean,
that one I didn't get.
It's probably like, joke if you get it, but...
So they're trying to get some... What was it? Their hyperdrive was out or something?
Of course, it's always the hyperdrive.
It's always the hyperdrive. Dude, the hyperdrive's not work in this universe. It always seems to be like the go-to, we're going to screw you over thing.
It's always on Bespin, because that's where the Millennium Falcon's hyperdrive went out.
Yep.
And that's where, Lando tinkered with it.
And,
so he tinkered with this.
Yeah, and Lando's like, you got to get out of here. You know? And he's like, Battle of Tanab. He's like, damn you. And then they show Han and Lando and Chewie and Princess Leia walking to get captured by Vader. And then these idiots are the ones, when I was a kid, okay, I always wondered, who the hell, was it Stormtroopers that shot C-3PO?
Huh?
That's what I thought.
Yep.
To find out it was these two guys? Come on, man.
Well, he finally got to shoot him.
He got his revenge for getting captured.
You know it wasn't a regular stormtrooper. They actually hit something.
Yeah, they actually shot something.
I don't know. I trust everything that Obi-Wan Kenobi said. Only stormtroopers were that precise to take out that sandcrawler, and that is the truth. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
He lied through the entire movie.
He was lying to Luke to get him to be from a certain point of view.
I think it's funny if the Empire never landed on Tatooine and Obi-Wan actually went out and used Force lightning on Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen, and then went back and took Luke
to get him to go help him.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to make it look like it. I'm going to
make it like
Jawas, the Sandcrawler, your uncle and aunt. I'm just going to abduct you off this planet. Come on, kid.
He was really the evil Jedi. Like Anakin said, in my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
It's all true from a certain point of view, right?
Yep. And then they're the guys, when Han's getting put into Carbonite, they're the ones that get knocked down off the platform by Chewie.
When they were about to rescue Han.
Yep. When they were about to rescue Han, Chewie knocks them off. And then you get the scene with Mon Mothma and Admiral Akbar saying, "We need your help once again, Tag and Bink. We need your help." And then Slave One shows up at the end.
Of course it does.
It's just such a fun story, and it did a great job of capturing the movies.
I absolutely loved it. I'm not sure. I might give it like, what do we rate it? What do you guys rate it? Because it is it going to be Nick's first 5? No. What the hell does it have to do to be a 5, Nick?
We'll get there.
Okay, because
for me, it's a 4.5. It's close. The end with Lando was a little long.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not to copy Nick again, but 4.5.
You can give it a 5.
No, I can't.
Yes, you can.
All right, I'm gonna give it a 5 because
all right.
Apparently I'm the biggest Star Wars nerd in this room, and I found it absolutely hilarious.
Oh, it is absolutely hilarious. I loved it.
I don't know. Jack Purvis played that Ugnaught right there. It's true. Look it up.
I'm gonna give it a 5. I have to give it at least 1, and I'm glad it was this one that got me to give it a 5. Because
it's a classic. I mean,
this is creative. The artwork is decent.
Even Ron Howard loves it.
You know.
Yep.
So it was just, this came from somebody who was just like, oh, there's these 2 bumbling idiots right here. We're gonna give them names, and then we're gonna do a whole story on these 2 idiots.
It's Dumb and Dumber in Star Wars.
It is Dumb and Dumber in Star Wars. I absolutely loved it, and I am going to try to find it so I can have it in my collection. Because it's got to be there.
No, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying the last part with Lando was a little long. Other than that, it was perfect.
Oh, there was another... Was that Return of the Jedi? Yeah, that was the Return of Tag and Bink.
Yep.
Where he's got the picture of Mace Windu.
Yeah.
On his wall.
Yep.
Very, very good. That was probably my favorite read out of all of them. Even though I really like Crimson Empire, that one was just fun to have lighthearted Star Wars stuff.
I think we've done a good job picking out the Star Wars books for this month, and I've enjoyed all of them, but Tag and Bink, that is the one I was really excited about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad to actually go back and read it, because I haven't read it since it came out.
Yeah. I guess we're going to go into Random Reads with Ryan segment. What do you got for us this week, Ryan?
Well, I've got 2. For whatever reason, I told my son to go find a comic randomly, and I'll read it. And he picked up Portal Bound by Aspen, issue 3. Yeah, it was not good.
It was not good?
No? Why?
The cover looks awesome.
Cover looks fantastic. It honestly was, and because I got into the middle of it, issue 3, I'm not entirely sure what was happening. But from what I could pick up is there is another universe where these characters are, and they dimension hop back over to Earth with 2 of the Earth kids. and they're discovering what a mall is and how great hamburgers are and that kind of thing. There just wasn't enough substance to the book for me to really fully get excited about it. But the art wasn't great. The storytelling, I've actually put this down halfway through. I kind of got bored. There just wasn't enough happening. It just felt like it was a book designed more towards kids, is what it felt like to me.
So that's why he went and picked it?
I don't know. I just said, well, he's a 13-year-old. I'm like, just go find a random...
Just a random book.
He's looking for something to do. I'm like, go find a random book. You pick it out. I'll read it, and we'll see how it is. Well, he did go completely off the wall. I probably wouldn't pick up an Aspen book. Their continuity is a little bit confusing to me. But and it's not Michael Turner art, unfortunately. It has something to do with bounty hunters chasing down these two individuals, and apparently how it breaks down is in this other universe, they're equal. Their character has an equal. It's like the same person in a different universe.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when one of the characters dies in the other universe, they die on Earth. So that part of it was a little bit interesting, but for the rest of it, it just wasn't enough to get me excited enough to want to keep on reading it. So, yeah, it is a solid pass.
Okay, solid pass. All right, he's not going to try to get us to read it.
No, I'm not going to. I wouldn't do that to anybody. The other one I got is a local book.
Is it?
Yes. Omug Comics created it. It is so the group that created it is here in Omaha.
I think I've watched a thing on TV, like public access TV. They were on like a show, a comic book show.
Would not surprise me.
And I was like, oh, I didn't realize we had one here in town.
Yeah, and this book is absolutely amazing. It's Lenny Vernon, Badass Trucker.
Okay. I think I've heard of this book. I think that's the one they were talking about on the show.
The cover was done by covers Nate Hamill, and he owns the Behind the Glass shop down in Lincoln.
Okay.
He's got a very distinctive style. And then, like I said, it is a local book. They do have an online shop. You can get the trade for the first 5 issues. Each book is an individual issue, so you don't need to know a whole lot going into it.
Nice.
Just pick it up and read it.
Okay.
And
how much is the cover price?
I think I paid $5 on this.
That's not bad.
No, I'm going to support
be a local. You support a local book, man.
One of the other podcasts I listened to got me hooked on it. He's a big fan of the show.
There are other comic book podcasts out there?
It's not a comic book podcast, actually.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
But he got me hooked on this because he was such a fan of it. They actually drew him into some of the books, too.
Okay.
They even made a trailer for this book. But the whole premise is Lenny Vernon is a truck driver, and he just stumbles across problems all the time somehow.
Nice.
He always ends up... So, like, in this particular issue, he ends up fighting a guy that summons a demon and gets possessed.
Nice.
So, he's fighting this guy, and it always ends with him getting the girl.
Okay.
This issue, he did not get the girl.
He didn't get the girl in this issue?
90% success rate. It even says it in the back, in the letters column. It says, let's see... Does Lenny score with every damsel every time? Great question. As of most recent issue, Lenny has scored with 90% of the damsels.
90% success rate. Wow.
90% success rate.
Is he a good-looking guy, or is he like a...
He's
a trucker?
He's a trucker.
He's got a belly with the big gut and the big hair?
The big hair, yeah. It's so fun. It's an easy read.
Do you guys carry that book, or do you have to...
We do. We actually sold out.
Sold out? Damn it.
We sold out. They're going to try to get us some more.
Okay.
7 just came out, and they had it for Free Comic Book Day there. The Omug guys were there, and so I went over and I bought it immediately because I had the rest of it. It is just such a fun story.
Do they have their website in there? Because you said you could buy it online, right?
Yeah. I think it's just Omug Comics.
Comics.com?
Yeah. OMUG.
Yep.
They even did an ad in this that I think is really funny. Omug Toys presents Populock. Each Populock bag may contain as many as 100,000 pieces. Millions of exciting possibilities, including heads, torsos, lower bodies, upper arms, upper legs, lower legs, a huge selection of hands and feet. All pieces pop and lock together. And then at the bottom there's a disclaimer. Omug Toys is not responsible for bags not containing the advertised number of 100,000 pieces.
That's awesome.
They just have so much fun with this, and they're so cool to talk to. I always try to buy from them when they're around. They're just quality guys doing something that they love, and it's just really, really entertaining. They actually started talking about doing a comic book about one of my favorite podcasts, Paranormal Dad's comic book, and I was a very big proponent of, yes, please do this. It needs to exist. So hopefully they go with that. But no, I absolutely love this book. Like I mentioned before, I am a little bit of a completionist. So at this point, I've had everything signed by them. So everything I'm getting in the future has to be signed by them so I can move forward with that collection.
Aren't they located downtown?
I couldn't tell you where they're at.
I think they are located. I think their location is downtown somewhere.
That's possible.
If this is the group that I think, this sounds familiar. I was actually flipping through after like Saturday Night Live on like midnight on Saturdays. This guy has like a TV show where it's it's called Omaha Cast or something.
Yeah.
And it talks about comics and all of that. And I think they had these guys on.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I think they're in like 9th or 10th Street downtown.
They're very involved with the communities around here. They're showing up at a lot of the shops. They do Ocon every year.
Okay. I'll have to stop if I'm going to go to Ocon. I'm going to stop and talk to them.
Oh yeah, they did a panel last year that I sat through that was really interesting. But they are a lot of fun and definitely worth checking out.
Awesome.
So I'd probably give that one a 4.
Okay. Yeah. I couldn't remember who the local guys were. I knew we had one, and I was like, I'm going to start supporting these guys because kind of cool. We got one here in town.
Well, it was actually funny. When I was helping out at Free Comic Book Day there, I think one of the wives or the girlfriends or whatever came up and bought the trade of Lenny Vernon Badass Trucker. And I go, well, you should have this. And she goes, we actually sold out, and we have somebody that's trying to get a copy, so I have to buy this one to get that copy to them.
Nice.
So
they're sounds like they're doing good. It's good to hear that they're actually popular. Did you read anything new and fun, Nick?
I don't remember.
You don't remember it? Okay.
I tried to start reading the rise or the death and life of Captain Atom. I lost interest in it after issue 1.
I did too.
I started reading some of the Kevin Dorkin, Bill and Ted's stuff. I lost interest in it. Put that away. I wanted to finish up the Ghostbusters Volume 1. Lost interest in it. Put it away.
This doesn't sound too promising here.
No, I'm trying to balance the editing, the writing, and all that crap, and learning my series for work. There's just no time for me to really read.
I feel you.
So the only time I get to read is when I'm editing and I'm normalizing it, and that's 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So if I can read a book in 4 minutes.
Lenny Vernon, Badass Trucker.
I read DCeased while I was making dinner last night.
Yeah.
It took 4 minutes. It was really short. And so if I have 4 minutes I can spare, I'll read a book.
I picked up on Free Comic Book Day. I'd started watching Legends of Tomorrow, and the character of Firestorm intrigued me. So we went to Ground Zero, and I'm reading the second series.
Yeah, the first series only had 4 issues in it.
5.
Okay, 5.
Because the only
mini
reason
series, and then it was
the only reason reason I know that is because I found out I have 5 from the mini series, and then they started out at 6 on for the second series where the 1982 run. So I picked up 5, 6, and then they didn't have 7, so I have 8, 9, and they didn't have 10, so I have 11 and 12. Sorry, and then I picked up X-Men 2099.
and I've been reading that. So I think I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna start reading Firestorm. I'm trying to get through X-Men 2099, what I have, which I bought 5 issues of. And then I found a while back that I was been wanting to bring up is Nova #1, the second series Nova #1 from 1994. It's got a nice foily cover.
Yeah, that kind of gave that away that it was a 90s run.
Looks like he's got a mullet, but when he has the helmet off, he doesn't have a mullet. But when he has the helmet on, he's got a mullet.
So it's kind of like a cape.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a short cape like Robin had.
It says no prospects, no future, no limits. So it basically, where it comes in at is he's in the New Warriors. He's just gotten his powers back, and he's learning that his powers he's learned more stuff and gotten stronger since the first time he was Nova.
Doesn't that always happen when a teenage kid type, it seems like their powers always kind of fluctuate,
Evolve a little bit. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, and it's by one of my favorite writers. It's by Fabian Nicieza. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wrote Deadpool
and Nomad.
And
I
Nomad.
just read some Nomad today.
His costume's a little bit more colorful.
Not black.
Not black. It's like red, blue, gold.
Okay, I gotta ask, how many times did he say Blue Blazes?
Just podcast. How many times?
Once. Sorry. One time.
Did Condor make an appearance?
No.
Oh, this book's worthless. No.
No. I even was texting Nick last night that I had picked this up, and I said, and he's like, oh, that's a sweet mullet. And I'm like, yep. It's pretty not bad for a good, first issue, right?
Right.
And he's like, you should talk about it. I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, uh-oh. He said, Blue Blazes. Shit just got real. It's the only time he says it.
Well, his helmet gets bigger.
His helmet it's weird.
It's ridiculous. It's like
his helmet gets bigger.
Like the leader. His head is like the size of the leader's head.
Hold on. It gets better because I thought he could fly through space, right? You're going and you find out that the 3 guys trying to kill him are Shi'ar, right? And I'm like,
and you knew that because they go to the same beautician, or
they have the
always
flat
looks the same
bird head thing.
They all look the same.
Okay,
they all have the same. So right there, I was like, this is what it should have been in the first original run. And they're like, we must test him.
Oh, there's Condor.
Yep, it's talking about who he's fought in his past.
All right.
He's in there.
They got Diamond Head, Powerhouse, and Condor. So yes, he does make an appearance, but not as a main villain. So they're like, we need to test him one more time before we unleash the super weapon, right? And then it goes into talking about how he fights the Sphinx. The Sphinx, not the Sphinx. That's a boxer. And then he talks about his times with how he couldn't hold a job, right? And then that's Nightwing, Nighthawk,
Night Thrasher,
Night Thrasher,
whatever,
whichever. Nighthawk,
Hawkwind, Hawkboy.
Something.
Hawk's not involved. It's Night.
Night.
Focus on the Night part.
Night Hawk. Night Bomber.
Night Thrasher. Whatever throws him off the roof, and that reignites his Nova powers. And then he's Kid Nova, Nick's favorite.
I have no sleeves. I'm
no
from Nebraska.
Sleeves. So then it talks about, it looks like the Nova Corps. And my favorite is he's got a Butthole Surfers sweatshirt on.
Of course he does.
Because it's the 90s.
Yeah.
And the Butthole Surfers are?
A 90s alternative.
I'm well aware, but the younger listeners have no idea who that is.
The Butthole Surfers are one of my favorites. So then they're like, yeah, he's talking to his girl who's like going to Yale. She's like uber smart and stuff. And she's like, he's worried about going to his high school graduation where Caps and the other Joker and Ginger are going to be. And so finally, they go to the reunion, right? They're like, Rich, oh my God, it's so good to see you. How does it feel to be the Nova again? And blah, 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 right? They get attacked. They attack the ice cream shop.
Is it Condor?
No, it's the 3.
It's not worth it, then.
Shi'ar goons again. They're fighting, and he's pissed off because they attacked his friends, and he pretty much lays waste to them. And then they bring in the super weapon, and he's like, what the hell just hit me, right? And he thinks it's going to be Condor, right? Or Powerhouse, right?
It's got to be Juggernaut.
Nope. It's Gladiator.
Of course it is.
And he fights Gladiator. He's getting his ass kicked. And then he turns the tide because he decides to cheat and grab his cape. He throws a whole train at him.
Gladiator or Nova?
Gladiator throws a whole train at Nova.
Okay.
Well, we all know that Richard can go through steel with his head.
Yep.
Because he did that in
Because he
issue
did
one.
that in issue 1 of the original run.
So I don't know what he's thinking.
So see, he's like, yeah, you got anything else? I can do this all day. And then he cheats and grabs his cape. And apparently Gladiator can't do anything if you grab his cape. Because then Dick Ryder just proceeds to kick the ever-loving shit out of him and then uses his new powers on him. Which is, he can trap in energy, kinetic energy, and then he's like, he releases it.
Oh.
And just lays waste.
So Gladiator has one giant weakness, is that he has to believe that his powers work. So all you have to do is like knock him silly and, and make him like, oh, I don't know if this works.
So here's the thing. They're in space. He doesn't have a mask, right?
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, he the helmet brings down a shield and seals off his head.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. And I'm like, I thought he could just fly through space with no problem. Because he had the powers of the...
No, it'll seal off.
Oh, okay. See? Talk to the Nova guy. And
it's like when Captain Marvel goes into space, her helmet will come on. Kind of the same thing.
This was a test to see if you could still do it. And he's like, are you fucking kidding me? He likes to swear in this one, except he doesn't swear. It just has the little symbols.
Yeah.
And then you see him with this sweet 90s hairstyle there.
Yep. He's very grunge.
Brother, he's celebrating his birthday at the end. So
the art looks pretty decent on it.
The art's pretty sweet. The story's good. I didn't like the ending. The only part I didn't like was the presents. I didn't like that shit. I've read issues 2 and 3 of this as well. I have 1, 2, and 3 I bought. And the second one deals with, kind of went edgy. Like, it talks about rape and the women who, report the rape, but the guys get off. And the girl commits suicide at the end because nobody believed her. That's kind of edgy for Nova. Everything I've ever read for Nova hasn't conquered a subject like that before. And then the third one has Spider-Man in it. All in all, I believe this one would have made a better first story for him than the original one. This one kept my interest more. So I give it a 4.5.
All right. Nice. I might have to reread it sometime when I have time.
Yeah. I was like, I want to read Nova, but I wanted to read, like, not the original, because I tried before and I made it like halfway through the book.
Halfway, yeah.
And I gave up. I was like, well, I've read the entire run when he was that 2010 Annihilation and that time
right there, yeah,
somewhere around there. I read that. I read all that whole entire run. I read that whole thing. So I was like, I'll give it a try. And I was pleasantly surprised. So if you can read it. It's not bad.
I apparently have that book. I did not know it.
You have that book? Nice.
Well, I was going to bring up Nova Volume 5, so the 2013 by Ed McGuinness. Ed McGuinness is a penciler, and Loeb was a writer. The first few issues of that was a lot of fun. Now, it's not Dick Ryder. It's Sam Alexander.
It's Sam Alexander.
I enjoyed that part. Kid getting these powers and stuff. I kind of enjoyed that, but
I really enjoyed that one. I don't have anything against the Sam Alexander run. I just stopped reading it because I couldn't afford to collect anymore.
I got tired of it after a while, but overall I thought the story, because that was really my intro into Nova, to be honest.
And I think they brought Ms. Marvel in one of the books. And
yeah, they started doing a bunch of crossover stuff like
I'm done.
They tend to do, and it just makes it really tough to want to keep reading it.
So I'll have to keep you guys updated on how this one's going, because this one's really fun.
Cool.
Anything else?
What's next week?
Next week we will be reading The True Believers, Invaders #1, and then it's called Excellence with an EX, not an X, #1 by Image.
And then our main story.
And then we are doing
Mystery Month, right?
We're doing Vader Down.
We got to do Vader Down.
Vader Down.
We got
next
one
week.
one more episode with Star Wars, which we'll be doing Vader Down for the modern.
That's right.
And that'll close out the celebration of Star Wars. All right, guys. That's going to wrap it up this week. Make sure to give us a follow at our new Twitter page. The handle is the It's Too Wordy 1. Go visit our Patreon. You like what you hear? Give us a little coin. help us put it back in the show, offset some of the costs.
You know, I've always, whenever I'm listening to podcasts, and I always hear them complaining about, you know, if you guys don't help us out, we're going to go under and stuff like that. Well, you guys don't realize how much I spend time down here.
Yep.
I spend at least 16 to 20 hours a week.
Yeah, he does.
Down here editing for nothing.
He is our editing guru, and he does it out of the love of doing this show. And
I understand now when they're always like, you know, this show might go under if I'm not going to make anything off of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I understand. I totally understand. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun.
It is fun.
But
we could always just release it unedited, and then it'd be kind of shitty.
No, I've heard, no, we're not. No.
I was kidding. I would never want you to do that.
But I could see me just getting fed up and just stopping.
Yeah.
If I feel like I'm just doing this for absolutely nothing. Because I get no comments. I get no feedback. There's no
the only thing we get is the downloads.
On iTunes, we have no comments. We have no stars. We have nothing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, is anybody actually listening to this? Am I just doing this for myself?
Yeah.
What am I doing this for?
Yeah.
So I think that's what I'm going through right now.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm not really excited to do shows. Like, I'm writing them, but I'm just like not looking forward to them.
Yeah.
So help us out. If you guys like the show and you guys want to keep going, help us out.
Yeah.
Because it might not be here.
Yeah. And that will be really disappointing because I love doing the shows. All of them, guys. So come on. Just give us a little bit of your pocket change and your cup holder. We're not asking for like $1 million. That'd be nice.
Like, just maybe a beer. Just help us buy a beer.
Yeah,
the drunker we are, and Ninja Turtles, the better that
Ninja Turtles is the better.
They are more entertaining when you guys are drunk.
Or drunk, because it's just hard to do that off our head. All right, so it just, we're not asking for a lot, guys, and we don't want to come across as that we're begging.
And we also came off the largest downloads in a month that we've ever had.
Yeah.
We've had a third of our downloads this last month.
So we know you guys like the content. It's just,
I want to hear from you guys.
Yeah, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard from anybody except for Scott.
I hear from some guys on Twitter, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Really help us out. Just go to iTunes, give us a review. Get us out there. Tell your friends.
Yeah.
Your iTunes reviews are really important. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but they're really important. And if we're not going to get on the top 5 pages or whatever, we're not ever going to be found.
We're never going to be found, and we enjoy doing them.
I'll even put out a contest. If we get 20 5-star reviews on iTunes, I will send out somebody a brand new container of dice. How's that?
That sounds good.
For the first 20. And then after that, we'll make some more.
Yeah.
We'll randomly pull you guys out of a hat, and we'll put your name on the show. And then you just email me your address, and I'll send it to you.
We just want feedback from you guys. We want to know. We can't get better if we don't know what we're doing wrong, what we could be doing right. Like, I'm going to start putting out, I'm going to do Twitter polls. There will be no point of me doing the Twitter polls
if it's just me and you on the Twitter page?
If it's just me and Nick discussing what we want to hear. You know? We want to hear from you guys. Obviously, you're listening to us. You're downloading us. So, just help us out, guys. You can also email us at the It's Too Wordy comic book podcast at yahoo.com.
That's too wordy.
That is too wordy. I did it on purpose.
Not going to forget that way.
So, I guess that's us signing off. We'll catch you next week. It's been Kirk.
Nick.
Ryan.
Bye.
Yep.
He's a salty, over-bulky, kinda hulky superhero. A twisted and electrically transistored superhero. An exotically erotic and aquatic superhero. The Marvel superheroes have arrived. Superpowered from the forehead to the toes. Watch them change their very shape before you know. See arcane striking superhero change to Viking superhero. Humdinging, real swinging, shield flinging superhero. They're the latest, they're the greatest, ultra